we are not our physical body. So the reason why it's so important to learn how to keep your word with yourself and with others is because since we are not our physical bodies, right? Because when we die, what leaves? When you die, your body does not leave. Your body does not suddenly zoom up into the sky and poof, and you're gone. Your body stays here. So if you die, what does that mean? That means that the thing that is life, what you are really made out of, is a spirit. So the spiritual realm, it's it's what really is who you are. That's why if you think your name is so and so, let's say Tom Hopkins, right? Whatever the case may be. I'm just thinking of a random name. Let's say your name is Tom and you think that you are Tom. If someone asks you, who are you? That's how you know you don't know yourself. Because if someone asks you, who are you? And you say, my name is Tom. That's who I am. That's not who you are. That's who your parents gave you the name Tom. That's what your parents named you at birth. That is what they call your physical body. However, your spiritual being is what you really are. And your body is a physical representation of what you are within. So if within you are someone who is weak, you're a weak individual and you can't keep your word with yourself, it's going to show in your body. The reason why you get tired, the reason why you're always sad and depressed, it's because of your body, because your spirit is always on fire. Your spirit wants you to grow. It wants you to be the best version of yourself. But when you start to weaken yourself with not keeping your word with yourself and being dishonest, being a liar to others, to yourself, most importantly, you start to show it on the outside. And the reason why you get so tired is because you start to consume foods that deteriorate your body, which is something conducive with someone who doesn't love themselves. If you're going to be fat and obese and out of shape, that is conducive with someone who does not love themselves, because your spirit wants you to be the best you can be. But if you hate yourself, you're going to start grabbing whatever you can 10 times out of the day, stuff in your mouth, and you're going to get out of shape. So the reason why I say it's important for you to find self-love is because your physical body is a representation of who you are. And it's the same thing with semen retention. For example, a lot of you guys don't know this about semen retention. It's the fact that when you learn to retain your life force energy, which is the thing that can recreate a whole nother human being. This is not just a liquid that comes out, right? When I talk about semen retention, I'm not talking about the liquid, right? Because this is a much more deeper subject. It's not just that. It's the fact that this thing that's inside you, this seed, is something that can create a whole nother human being. And the fact that you're constantly releasing it by yourself because you want a quick hit of dopamine, you want your body to feel a rush instead of what your spirit actually wants you to do, which is to retain it so that you can give your body the nutrients that it needs. Instead, you're constantly letting it go into a sock, letting it all out, watching these videos and playing with yourself and pleasuring your body in the moment, and your spirit is watching you and it's saying, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? So when you start to learn how to retain, now you've just withheld the life force energy that's within you. And now you can take that energy, because you are energy, and you can transmute it into something else of your liking, something else of your choosing. If you want to become a great guitar player, you take that energy that you have inside, and instead of releasing it, you transmute it into the guitar skills. You pick up a book, You devote all your energy into learning that subject. If you want to become a great fighter, you take all that energy, you devote it into everything that has to do with fighting. You take your mind, your body, your spirit, and you push yourself to become the best version in that one thing. But this all starts with you learning how to keep your word with yourself. So the reason why semen retention ties in to this is because the way that you can stop with this problem that a lot of guys have of controlling themselves, which is, that's all it boils down to, is self-control, nothing else. It's self-control. That's all it is, okay? It's about keeping your word with yourself. And what I mean by that is that if you can tell yourself, you know what? Sure, I have an addiction. Sure, this is unhealthy. This is a bad habit. I shouldn't be doing this. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stop today and I'm not gonna do it. And then you keep your word with yourself. You do it out of pride as a man. Because understand this, if you can't keep your word with yourself, understand this. Every other man out there who is succeeding in life, who has succeeded over a long period of time, they are a better man than you. You have to accept it. And you want to know why? Because the fact that they've achieved that is because they kept the word that they had with themselves. So they told themselves they were going to do something and they did it. And if you can't keep your word with yourself with something as simple as not playing with yourself when you feel like it, then I hope in your mind you remember that all these other men are better men than you. They're all better men than you because they can do what you can't. So that makes them better than you. So out of pride, you should be able to want to not even focus on 365 days out of the year, but focusing on, I'm not going to do this today. Watch me. It's that simple. I just heard a saying the other day. I forgot how it was. It was like a 50,000 or like 500-mile marathon starts with one step. It starts with one step. And you have to understand that. You have to understand that. You have to digest it and understand that it starts with one step. So you, with your pride and you wanting to understand that you are just a physical, you're a physical representation of who you are on the inside, your pride as a man should eat you up alive by the fact that you can't hold your word on the most simple things. You can't hold your word when you tell yourself, I'm not going to do this today. I'm not going to play with myself. I'm not going to go on the websites, and I'm not going to release. And your pride should make you be like, okay, I'm not doing it. And then at the end of the day, you should be able to say, I didn't do it. And the feeling that you will gain, the power, understand that the most powerful people on this earth, truly powerful, right? Because there's people in positions of authority which they have power, but they're not really a powerful individual. A powerful individual is someone who can have full self-mastery of themselves, meaning they can control themselves. They can control themselves with everything they do. If they tell themselves they're going to do something, they do it. That's the difference between a weak person and a strong person, successful person and a loser. It's because one person has self-mastery to be able to control themselves and the other person doesn't. Do you understand the difference between someone who can control themselves? If you right now cannot control yourself, you should feel a sense of guilt, a sense of shame, to the point where you have to reevaluate your life and understand, I can't even control myself. I am me. I am me. And the only person that I can truly control is myself. And I can't even do that. You should think about that. Think about that, because especially for the guys who are watching this because of semen retention, if you can't control yourself from dispersing your seed just because you want to feel a little bit of pleasure, then understand this. You're not going to win in the bigger things in life because it shows that you are a weak individual spiritually, mentally, and physically. So it's going to stop you from being able to grow and be successful in life, because if you want to get far in life, you have to be able to connect with others. And if you are someone who cannot connect with others, it's mainly because you don't keep your word with yourself, so you're not going to keep your word with others. I don't trust anyone who does not keep their word with themselves. If they don't keep their word with themselves, they're not going to keep it with me. I can't respect someone who doesn't keep their word with themselves. I can't respect someone who doesn't keep their word with me. Because the fact that you can't control yourself and you can't keep your word with yourself, I can't respect it. And I have no sympathy, because all that you have to do is have the self-control to not say something that you know you're not going to do. If you know you're not going to do it, then don't say it. If you know that you believe in yourself and you can back up your words, then say it. Say it freely, because your words have power. And the power is the fact that you have self-control behind anything you say. You control what comes out of your mouth. You control what doesn't come out of your mouth. No diddy. You can control it. That's what has power. See, the people who have no power is the people who have no self-control, meaning they can't control themselves to do what it is they know they have to do. They can't control themselves to keep their word with what they said they were going to do. And most importantly, they can't even control what comes out of their mouth. Because the reason why they can't do what they said they were going to do is because they can't control what comes out of their mouth. They just say whatever. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Yeah, I'm going to cut down and I'm going to see my abs. And they never do it. They never do it. Why? Because they can't even control what comes out of their mouth. So you have to start with the most simple, minor task if you want to level up in life, if you want to become a better man, a better human overall. Start with the simple things, such as controlling what comes out of your mouth. Before you let anything out of your mouth, you should have the self-control to think and say, do I mean this, or is this a lie? Do I mean this? Am I going to back it up with action? No? Okay, let me just keep it in. Let me just not say it. And then also have the conscious decision to understand, I'm about to say this. So when I say this, I understand what comes with it. I understand the terms and agreement. So I'm going to sign my name on the dotted line, and you have my word. That's how it should be. But the problem is, a lot of people just give out their word. They don't read the terms and agreements. They sign their name. Oh, I didn't know. See, it starts with the small things, such as self-control. All right, guys, that's the video for today. Let me know what you think down below. Peace out. Good night, y'all.